मैं पोस्ट 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 करता हूँ चल तो नहीं ठीक है ना कुछ भी लिखा है
and counted out the fingers which clock on. Good morning, one and all present here. I, Dr. Solika Sharma, welcome you to the inaugural session of the lecture course on embarking on a research methodology for scientific excellence. बोलेंगे नहीं कि अच्छा बना है पूरा कर लेंगे जो डरे में जो होता है. Online participants, please keep yourselves up. नहीं हम कह रहे थोड़ा रुक के लूंगे. तो पंखा चला गया तो पंखा बंद कर दो उसको ठंड लग रही है तो एक पंखा भी तो चल जाए. हाँ उधर The pressure course is a brainchild of our principal man, Professor Savita Roy, with the aim to equip all faculty to be aligned with national education. There are 65 registered participants. Some of them are joining online today, and few of them are here with us for these offline sessions. As a symbol of enlightenment and new beginnings, we request our respected guests to please come forward to have the ceremonial lab. For I now request our team guests to please raise the table and take them on the dais. I have questions. Special state Professor Baldram Pali. Principal Bank, welcome and felicitate Dr. Shiv Kumar. Now I request Dr. Sonika Sharma to explain our principal bank. अभी जो पीछे है ना तो ये वाली वॉइस उनके सरफेस पे है एक ओवर हीट हो गया अच्छा ये बात है सो आपको सो अगर तो ये एंड वन को बोलते हैं वो स्टॉप एट दिस टाइम इतना हाँ सभी बात है ये सब वन में कहीं वो सारी लगता है सभी में ऐसे फोन बना नहीं सकता अभी हमने जो फोटो खींची है ना उसमें सबसे बेस्ट ऐसी ऐसी लाइट है स्ट्रिप वन से एक भी फोटो नहीं जब ये वाली स्ट्रिप वाली साइड की ठीक है हाँ मुझे लाने से एक फोटो है तो आप ये जा सकते हैं यहाँ से पता नहीं यहाँ से this channel which is eight because we have got research technology paper and at a 4 year undergraduate curriculum framework, this paper is mandatory and students are required to equip themselves here for their residence to be controlled by so better to come. One and if that we are on this question so since I have this great child is our course is collecting and guiding us all in that our national field of the scientific evaluation. It's called it balanced. There now, when people you are taking how to write the paper, how to evaluate the paper. Now stop writing your research papers. Writing the research proposal requires lot of inputs from various corners, and all of us should know this. Now the college teachers are now going to buy projects. You should know what to write, how to write project, which area is important. You say I am to write in electronics. Okay. Electronics is not so very important as semiconductor technology. That 60.
सुबह में कैसे रखना पड़ेगा तो पूरा वो हटा के रखना पड़ेगा पूरा चालू कर दिया तो चालू कर इसको बनाता हूँ जुगाड़ बस चालू करते हैं चालू कर Today is better the government for right. And so I say, work here. I think search is space. Work this you know the matter, you know the process. These are what cells include that one process easy, smooth, so that you know, some technique.
But there is to be impression that way and they so that's why. And the other target level, it has already been introduced in 4% of the magnet. A, it is a magnet A. So before area, this is the technology. Only the magnets, only the professors, this should be. You are to it. Only the technologies for knowledge so that we can make a difference. So these are the things. And right now, there is particularly in the English days, where the Indians, similar to the research, we best use the primary resources. Because we always I was secondary in the Western is there based on the secondary resources. So secondary resources it is very easy to very quick whether it will give you the hypothesis. So honestly, this but the secondary resources are not as primary issues. Both are because here both resources need to treat reports. Here this is very especially one. Once it was progress, we are bringing back into the play this area, this is in the way. So they are not happening. So when exercise, when you keep, so it's a they are going to be lots of states. Also, they have tools with mechanism. They will see these things. How to like easy. Say the things, yeah. Come, so my project is like, it's there. Senior, so like workers. Artificial intelligence, they will take the part and what is the community that is what is my clothes, which is like members of the have this skin consistence, right? Sir, can you please start?
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, dear. Respected Professor A.K. Bakshi, founding VC PDM University, Haryana. Respected Professor Baram Paniji, Dean of College, Delhi University. Professor Savita Roy, Principal Daulat College, DU. Professor Vimal Rao, Director of the UGC-MMTTC at SGTB Khalsa College, University of Delhi, in absentia. The team of organizing committee at Daulat College, other esteemed dignitaries, dear participants, and ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure and a profound sense of privilege to welcome all of you on behalf of the SGTB Khalsa College, University of Delhi, to this multidisciplinary refresher course on embarking on NEP research methodology for scientific excellence, being organized by Guru Angad Dev MMTTC in collaboration with Daulat College from 24th June to 7th July 25. Ladies and gentlemen, Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Khalsa College, a constituent college of University of Delhi, is a prestigious institute for higher studies with a long history and legacy and serving the principles of Sikhi. The institute upholds a learning culture which promotes lifelong learning and open-mindedness to adopt,
Sir, you're
adapt,
muted. Sir, you're muted.
scale, and grow.
Muted.
As encapsulated in the word Sikhi, Sikh or learner, I welcome you on behalf of my management of my college and my own behalf. Our GAD MMTTC is the leading center of UGC and Ministry of Education, Government of India, formerly known as Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center. It has trained more than 1,15,000 teachers through various training programs since 2016. It has the mandate to train 15 lakh higher education teachers for the NEP sensitization and orientation program, along with the faculty induction program, faculty development programs, and refresher courses, which are recognized for Career Advancement Scheme CAS, and NAC. The core team of GAD TLC has an expertise of developing e-content of 89 courses and EPG Pathshala project and more than 50 MOOCs in four-quadrant format for SWAYAM platform of Government of India, and that the e-content produced by GAD TLC has been rated as one of the best in quality at the national level. I'm very happy to announce that our UGC MMTTC center has been rated first amongst all 144 centers in the last financial year 24-25. Based on maximum number of programs conducted and number of participants, for which I will like to congratulate Professor Vimal Rao and her team. Research, as we all know, is the very bedrock of knowledge creation and progress. It is the disciplined pursuit of truth, the systematic quest for understanding, and the innovative approach to solving complex problems. In today's interconnected world, where information increases and an experimental pace, the ability to conduct rigorous, ethical, and impactful research is not just an academic pursuit, but a vital life skill to make our society progress as a better place to live. For us, teachers, the role of a researcher is intrinsically linked to our primary duty. We are not merely transmitters of knowledge, we are also its creator and critical evaluators. Our engagement with research not only keeps us at the forefront of our respective disciplines, but also inspires and guides the next generation of scholars, our students. A teacher who is actively involved in research brings a unique depth and contemporary relevance to their classroom, making learning a dynamic and explanatory process. I am happy to know that this refresher course on embarking on NEP research methodology for scientific excellence has been meticulously designed to cater to your specific needs, keeping in mind the dynamic shifts in the educational landscape. In this context of the National Education Policy 2020 and the emphasis on outcome based education for the significance of strong research methodology is amplified. In the light of NEP, when our university is entering into fourth year, teachers have to prepare themselves for not only teaching the research methodology course, but also mentor the students in research projects. This refresher course is being conducted in the right time to prepare our colleagues in this direction. In addition to this methodologies, process and ICT tools, including AI tools, we also must emphasize the aspects of research ethics and the responsible conduct of research. NEP envisions an education system rooted in research and innovation, fostering critical thinking and problem solving. By refining our research skills, we directly contribute to achieving these national education goals, ensuring that our academic contributions are not just theoretical but also lead to tangible, measurable outcomes. I urge each one of you to actively participate in these sessions, engage in robust discussion, share your experiences, and make the most of the expertise of of the resource persons. I'm thankful to all the resource persons with special mention to Professor A.K. Bakshi. I would also take this opportunity to extend my sincere gratitude to Professor Savita Roy, Principal Daulat College, and her team for collaborating with us for this very relevant refresher course. As this is the need of the hour with Daulat College, it is a step forward after having already organized many programs earlier, and we look forward to more such collaborations in future. As such, partnership can bring uh, tremendous values to our educational community, thereby creating an environment where exchange of knowledge thrives and innovative ideas are born. Together, let us embark on the journey to build a stronger, more dynamic, and impactful educational system, one that truly prepares our students to meet the challenges of 21st century. On my and Professor Vimal Rao's behalf, I wish you all a very productive and enlightening experience in this refresher course. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for informing us about the role of GA-MMTTC in teacher training. Now I request Professor A.K. Bakshi to make a special address on behalf of GAT-MMTTC.
Am I audible? Good morning. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Esteemed dignitaries present on the occasion, including Professor Balram Pani, Dean of Colleges, University of Delhi, Dr. Shiv Kumar, former Director, DRDO, Professor Gur Mahinder Singh, Principal SGTB Khalsa College, University of Delhi. Professor Savita Roy, Principal Daulat College, University of Delhi. Members of the organizing team. And last but not the least, dear participants, it's indeed a great honor and a privilege to have this opportunity to be with you at the inauguration of this 2-week refresher course on embarking on NEP, research methodology for scientific excellence, being jointly organized by Daulat College in collaboration with UGC-MMTTC at SGTB Khalsa College. As you have been told, UGC-MMTTC at Khalsa College is one of the leading centers of the country, and it has been rated the best in the country. We have trained more than 1 lakh teachers from all over the country through various programs. And the ultimate aim of Malviya Mission Teacher Training Program is to empower the teachers. Because once teachers are empowered, they in turn will empower their students. So all what we are doing is ultimately to support student learning. And one thing we have to remember, that the quality of an education system can never exceed the quality of its teachers. So if we want to raise the quality of an education system, we must raise the competence level of the teachers. And this refresher program is an initiative in that direction. We are having this program on research methodology. See, you will all agree that research has become a very important function of a higher education faculty. Other function is, of course, teaching. And please remember, while teaching spreads the existing knowledge, research creates new knowledge. Both are important, there is no doubt. We have to spread existing knowledge and we have to create more knowledge. But creating more knowledge is more important. And that is what this program ultimately aims at. Please remember, teaching only lights the lamp. Research builds the road ahead. We show direction to the world. And therefore, we all have to do quality research. This is very, very important. Even in the new education policy, there is a talk of doing quality research, innovation. And this policy talks about vibrant knowledge society. Now, what is a vibrant knowledge society? It is a dynamic community where knowledge is actively created. And knowledge actively created means research. And that quality research or knowledge which is created, then that is shared to drive innovation and social well-being of the people in the country. So research has a great importance. As a matter of fact, without research, the world will come to halt. Research and development are inseparable. So now the question comes, how to excel in research? Where is the problem in our country? See, there is a report that 99% of the higher educational institutions are not contributing to the country's high quality knowledge creation. That means most of the research being done is of routine type. Emphasis is more on quantity rather than quality. Sometimes people say this is promotion-driven research, but that serves no purpose. we have to do research with a purpose. That is very important. And therefore, we have to see what all can be done to promote that. And I am very sure that this program will ultimately help in that context. One may ask the question, what makes an outstanding researcher? See, we have to do introspection as to why we are not able to excel in research. There is a dearth of creative and innovative minds in India. I am coming from chemistry, a scientific discipline. Look at the fact that no Indian scientist working in India has been able to get Nobel Prize after 1930 when C.V. Raman got it. Now it's almost 95 years. Why? Why is this happening? A country with a population of 1.4 billion and we are not able to produce even a single Nobel laureate. And on the other hand, there are universities like Harvard. See, Harvard University has produced more than 160 Nobel laureates. Cambridge also more than 100. So one will have to think, where is the problem? See, facts don't cease to exist just because we ignore them. We have to go into the depth of the problem. And in my opinion, from my vast experience, both at national and international levels, quality education lays the foundation for quality research. We have to shift the focus of our education. And as new education policy also says, our aim should be to create, not well-filled minds. We want well-formed minds. That time has gone when we used to say, oh, that person is very knowledgeable. Now we need well-formed minds, the minds which are formed out of thinking, innovation, and creativity. We need to focus on that. Era of rote learning is over. We will have to change our entire education system. I mean the focus of entire education system. We have been following for a very long time teacher-centric pedagogy, where the focus was on examination, rote learning, and scoring high marks. That's not required now. See, in today's world, there are many sources of knowledge. That is why the role of a teacher has also changed. There was a time when teacher was considered to be the only source of knowledge, but not now. With this online education, there are multiple sources of knowledge. Quality content is available in abundance. Tell me what we teach in the class which our students cannot get from many other sources and maybe sometimes better. So this in itself should bring an awakening in us that the time has come when we need to shift our pedagogy from teacher-centric to learner-centric pedagogy. This is what the new education policy says. And what is the thinking behind learner-centric pedagogy? The thinking is that learning is not the product of teaching. Learning is the product of the activity of the learners. You engage the learners. You be like a mentor. You be like a coach. You be like a facilitator of learning. Let them think. Let them work on their own. See, in our times, the best teacher was considered to be the teacher who could explain very well. But now that time has gone. Now we have to, make students be active, engage in various activities. That is why the methods like problem-based learning, project-based learning, inquiry-based learning, collaborative learning, flipped classroom model, all these are becoming very popular. Because through this model, our students will be able to acquire higher order thinking skill, which is the need of the hour. We need creative, innovative minds. And maybe our teachers are also not trained, but that is the time when we have to be trained for that. We must change with the changing times. So my feeling is that our education system needs to change. We need to focus on higher order thinking skills. And now we have research even at undergraduate level. We need to focus more on skills. And you'll see already all the leading companies of the world, they are now hiring people not on the basis of degrees, but on the basis of skills. The rules of the game are changing. Because, degrees tell you what? That you have studied these subjects. Now the question which is being asked is, whatsoever you have studied, based on that, what you can do, tell us that. That is what otherwise we call also outcome-based education. Without focusing on outcomes, without producing creative thinking individuals, we cannot excel in research. Because, as a teacher, two roles are very important for you. One is, of course, you want to improve your research capability. You want to become a better researcher. That is one. But second responsibility is that you have to produce better researchers for future. You have to empower your students also. That is also our responsibility. And we need to work on both of them. And my opinion is, after a particular age, it becomes difficult to change much. But I have had the experience of working in the leading institutions of the world, including with the Nobel laureate. I have closely seen how they work. The most important thing, in my opinion, is first, which I feel even our students sometimes lack is, you should have a deep understanding of your research area, including the latest developments. This is missing in our students. When I say our students, I mean PhD students or others. They are not fully familiar with literature. Whatsoever may be your field, go into the depth of what all has been done. And then if you are a critical thinker and if you are creative, you will be able to find the gaps in the knowledge. Oh, what new can be now done? That is what is the need of the hour. I remember when I went to Germany, I wanted to change the field. And my professor said, okay, if you want to change the field for at least 3 to 4 months, just read books, find out the problem, what you think has to be done, and then present it in a seminar where all experts are there. They will tell whether this problem is feasible or what can be added. That is how the discussion starts. See, research methodology, types of research, all these are important, no doubt. But the starting point is, you have to start with the research problem. That is the starting point. And therefore, this is how we have to train our students. We need to do the training. That is how then you have to be an out-of-box thinker. You should have vast reading, because creativity comes through what we say. Creativity is connecting the previously unconnected dots, but you will be able to connect the previously unconnected dots only if you know what are the dots available. And that is the literature survey. Now technology has come, things are very fast, but we need patience. We need to go into the depth of each and every discipline. And then you should have, a passion to reach to the top in your career. Why not? Because there is always a force, a driving force inside every individual. Once it is unleashed, then it can make any vision, dream, or desire a reality. And that has to be unleashed in you. We have to go to the root cause where the problem is and then try to modify it. And I'm very sure this refresher course will be a step in that direction. You will be able to do a lot. You will learn how to approach the problem. And now, times have changed. Technological tools are there before you. They can help you in so many things. There is hardly anything you have to do with your hand. For every aspect, there are so many tools. But what is not the tool is for your creativity, for your critical thinking. That you have to do. And therefore, I think it will focus on that. And I'm very sure that this will be a very useful refresher course, which will tell you in what direction we should go. If we are not able to excel in research, what is the fundamental reason? Nobody else will tell us. We have to understand. We have to do the introspection. And please remember one more thing. Always do research with a purpose. Don't do research just for the sake of doing research, just for the sake of publication. No, that is useless. And even the new National Research Foundation, which has been created under National Education Policy 2020, it also says funding of the projects will be done for those research projects which are globally competent but locally relevant. That is the emphasis of research going to be. So I think I have taken already a lot of time, but all these things, I always felt, having been in this field for so long, as to where, where the shoe pinches, we have to attack that point. Other things are of very secondary importance. My feeling is that unless we bring about reforms in our education, in our learning, in our thinking, in our skill building, I think already 95 years have passed since we got Nobel Prize, and then many more years will pass. We have to change. Even our assessment methods have to be changed, because assessment drives learning. Focus should be on higher order thinking skills. Set such questions, automatically transition will occur. So thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you. And I thank the organizers, Professor, especially Professor Savita Roy. Greetings to you. And it's always a pleasure coming to your college and being a part of your programs, because you always come out with new ideas and where we need to attack. I mean, where the shoe pinches, where we need fundamental improvements. And this program is also a step in that direction. So my best wishes to all of you, and I'm very sure that it will be a great learning experience for all of you, and all the best. Thank you very much.
Such knowledge to all of us. Your skill as an educator has really translated in your speech on this occasion. Now we come to the end of the inaugural session. I really want to thank Principal Ma'am for getting this idea and me to work on this. It's a learning experience for me, and I'm sure all of us will gain from these 2 weeks that we are going to spend in this refresher course. Thank you so much to Professor Balram Pani, who has spared his precious time to come here. Dr. Shiv Kumar, thank you so much, sir. We are all waiting to hear from you after this session in the inaugural session, after a tea break. Thank you to all the participants. Thank you to Dr. Karna, who was the coordinator of this my team, Dr. Professor Darshan, Dr. Jyoti Singh, and Dr. Madhu. Thank you so much. And Professor Priti Malhotra for all the guidance in organizing this program. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. 11:45, 11:15. So we will leave at 11:15. Okay. You can take a break and come back. सर प्रेजेंटेशन यहाँ लगाना है और दूसरे या तो मेरा मेरा लैपटॉप यहाँ कनेक्ट करो और उस पे ये है ना एक्स्ट्रा लैपटॉप इसका बात में
ठीक हो गया ना प्रेजेंटेशन से तो क्या मतलब प्लीज
तो फिर मैं बीच में गायब हो ही जाए आपका आपको पहले चेक करना था ना कि प्रोजेक्टर को लैपटॉप को ऐसा करो क्या पैसे मैं आप प्रेजेंटेशन भेज चुकी हूँ करो उसको और चलती है वो प्रेजेंटेशन जो मेरी है यहाँ पे हम लोग पहले बढ़ते हैं पहले यहाँ के पार्टिसिपेंट्स में बताना पड़ेगा
आप बोल सकते हैं
Dear participants, we are starting with Dr. Shiv Kumar's inaugural session in 5 minutes. Structural research at IPR. Sir has an experience of 28 years working in the solid state physics laboratory with DRDO, and he has many awards to his credit. He has served as the advisory member of various DRDO research programs, and he has immense research background. And it will be an honor for us to hear and get motivated from your speech, sir. Thank you so much for speaking. So you should go take those, take advantage of those. Then,
Sure. So, so you have to job, you all. So whatever we do, we should have the better to form the this is our okay. So these are some of the applications of for here and these are the some of the
the committee known for very high school terms in the teaching community. The education policy when it came to Delhi University, she was impressed with formulating that time. When I will see the university, she said, SCB, say, what national education policy slip, and we are now fourth year shared during the guidance of Professor Ratnavali. I appreciate no other one more in the UGC than Professor Ratnavali. A big thank to him. He is just a phone call away when you have got any problem, like decision you want to take, just talk to her. She has got the solution. She is a person who is a doer and very positive, and we must uh, take this from her way of thinking. When the research methodology paper was her brainchild, it was fourth year when the students were coming for the research. Suddenly, a UG student cannot go and write a project and the dissertation. So what she did, she said, okay, then we need to give them the background. For that, she said every department has to have a research methodology, a small tool that should be given to the student before they embark on fourth year. And with this idea, she diligently sat down and had drawn the guidelines for all the departments. And now we have seen the paper book. Despite all hiccups, it has done a great job. But she was suggesting we are very good in sciences. We are very good. I think. Research methodology. So at the same time, and Dr. Shivkumar, what an insight it was an I think we would reach out to you for before we write our projects and send it to the internship. We will be happy with I think it's fun. Yeah, you like it close. So we will be following it all day. Thank you so much for your insight and welcome from home. One of the most dynamic principles of the Delhi University College, I would say. Uh, don't go by her side. Her power strong and be shoulders, the right chest, feet, and so sitting there in the university, we are able to get the information as well as job reality at the college level when we are implementing therapy at the undergrad, in all the undergraduate. So thank you, madam, for your inspiration and introduction. And thanks for the input. Respected doctors, supervisors, super, himself. We bring it back, so I want to put the entire session, but as a very informative the part which I saw. And I particularly quite glad to see that there are so many opportunities for the university and the colleges to work with the RBO. And whatever, information could share regarding their free internship and other research collaborations which we can have with TRBO it will be very helpful in encourage innovation. Let me share with you that maybe because of the fact that University of Delhi had, lost its BTech program, the university college became and as I became as a security. Thereafter, we had now started the departments, but there are no faculty. So it was in 2020 when our freshman during the centenary celebration, we decided to start the 3D textile graphics to science. To now the second, there's only the third one only electrical issues. So the program started in 2024, so we can who would be the interested that we talk about. In fact, I think the architecture technology had taken an initiative or, where we had this hackathon which was organized by the ministry. So the students participated. So I think it needs to be aware of us, not just in procedures, especially using resources. Which sense of the but that's this and the fact that first have been embedded in our investment, it's where previously it used to be our for volunteering, so student volunteering, there will be exist. But now that colleges and department inside with the partner industry or the organization. So the RDO and the government policy can sign and movie. And they can say that we have PC internship program, which is called as access internship scheme, where there's any student, like in my office also, twice in a year there is 2 cycles at least. 2 or 3 cycles. One is summer vacation, the other is semester in the all weeks test. So I have a track. There was a student who was from the 6 years doing physics, but much more interested in music. So I had to one best flash analysis using different software. So this is just one example. Keeping in mind that the young they have so much of innovative mind. And we girls like a schedule was established by 60 come for the movie knowledge just to incubate the staff. So the startups of which are incubated by the university. I think that once we have a very close tie-up with the audience, say that you economics for doing such basic programs with the RBO, where your so the work of they get more areas of collaboration, then you would see that advantages for the country as a whole. So thank you, Dr. Shiv, for point giving these pointers that we can think about much more strongly. And I thank you to members who are here, who have expressed their, I would say, strong intent to take forward the research component in the 40 program. Madam had posed me a question which I have not answered. I will answer it today. That is, in the BA program, BA program, BSc program, BCom program, students who do not opt for research or academic or project are they required to study the research quality paper in 6 or 7? It is still valid for them. They are free. So I had a discussion with one of my sons yesterday, and he said, "Oh God, because research is something which is very important in life, and it's not about just doing writing a dissertation or writing an academic report, but whenever we are talking about any kind of research which you want to base it as a original research, then I think that doing research and then sharing those findings in the form of article gives you that edge when you apply for publication in reputed journal. So I think that any whether they are making up research and they're publishing or going to the board practice, no matter what, they should be asked to study either in the 6 or 6 or 7 semester. I hope your message 6. So now coming to just forward. So you all know that when we have talked about research, this particular is research. And it's easy to, I think, all we talk about science, their structure, you will find that there's in the we want to get when a student wants to get research honors with research because we are from single mode discipline programs. Single mode discipline program students get honors in 2 years and they will get honors in research degree after completion of the 4th year. Right? This comes. So either the student can write a dissertation or do an academic. Now, question is, what is the difference between the two? Now, I'm sure how many kids can you make this matter? It's Australia. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So I'm sure must have or we will be discussing how to find out a result for this find the circle. What are they what is this in this one actually why the person? Can we go to the next one? This is for major minor, which I'm sure we don't need to discuss it today. I hope everybody is aware. Next, please. So as you can see, we have written in the track dissertation obligation. So academic project, let me define academic program, anything, any research, minus the academic to get under the dissertation. So I would say that it is not a very fine line of distinction between the two. However, when are categorizing a particular research as an academic project, it has to be a research problem which is based on real time, real issue which is there in the society. Okay? Or real issue, not just society, like this society is society class, the area, the domain that you work. That it is, if you have a problem and you want to find a solution to it. Right? So it will be a very pain point of research. It will not be a pure research because we first those identify a problem and then find a solution within 1 year time. We said semester 7, 8. So in case the research is not related to the real time, where in practice, there are different types of research as you can see, isn't it? We have exploratory research, we have descriptive research, we have quantitative research, and so on. Right? So there are very many types because other types may not be so much relevant to you. But if you are going to write about exploratory research or descriptive research, definitely you cannot really have this project because you are clearly defining a concept. You are merely describing what is there, not picking up this. So what goes like now, and then in case if a student doesn't want to write these things, the student is say BA honors program or BSc maths program student or BCom honors program student. The student has to pick any of these three. He is not provided the fourth track that you see for programs, BSc program or BA program or BCom. Go to fourth track, the other. Can I just do the fourth track? Next, 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 next. Yeah, next. The structure. Next. Yes. So here what you see is that the student is not going to write a dissertation in case of program, BA program, BC program, or BCom program. And this will tell you that this is not maybe. It is only a choice, an additional choice being given to students. Kindly do not force your BA program, BSc program, and BCom program students to opt for this structure. Anything you have for flexibility. What about choices given to students to develop their academic path? So this is meant for students who really do not have the inclination. Once you get a 4th year honors, 4th year degrees, and things of that. Skipping into the subject will be a couple of
programming whether they can directly go into PhD or to doing a program course.
Yes, see, whenever we say that program is when we are talking about transition from 4th year to PhD, ideally we should have certain other criteria beyond just having a degree. Say for instance, if you are doing this research and you already know the outcome, probably that school should be able to publish a research paper in a scopus in this journal. Okay? So the student receives that in top of the 4th year can be given, eligibility for maybe consider. Say for example, after next, if you are a UGC net, you're it. If you are a JRF, then I see over of the results. But let the science available in results. Okay. Should be, consider we can have objective criteria where we assign such advantage or points, those students are able to exhibit specific credible outcomes in the research domain. So that is one thing for all. Okay, another question that comes and it has this part. There was a very yesterday by one teacher Basic difference is between the skill-based skill and natural courses which are already there. ये भी एक question होता है. So here the skill-based courses are skills of the core discipline. We all know that in the fourth year, the focus of the core is only on one discipline. There is a major discipline. बाकी जो है minor discipline का you have most all the programs we would have completed the minor credits in the first 3 years. है ना? So fourth year है it's a focus study on one discipline which is the major discipline. ठीक है? So skill-based course will be the skill course of that major discipline. It will not be an open full of skill enhancement, just that we see in the first, 6 semester. Okay? So more or less, it will be quite similar to the 2 credits skill-based course of first year PG or 2-year PG. You got it? देखो कोई बच्चा 3rd ईयर के बाद एग्जिट करके 2-year मास्टर्स में आ सकते हैं, है ना? तो 2-year मास्टर के फर्स्ट ईयर का जो स्किल बेस्ड कोर्सेज है वो और आपकी 4th ईयर में स्किल बेस्ड कोर्सेज मोस्टली सेम भी हो सकता है या इट कैन बी क्वाइट सिमिलर इन दोस लाइक अगर ज्यादा मूड है देन पिक अप सम. ठीक है? एंड वी आर आल्सो कंसीडरिंग keeping in mind the business seminar 1-12 that in certain programs there may be very less number of students who are coming for the 4th year. We can even think about clustering the colleges for teaching the discipline specific electives. नहीं तो आपके पास 10 बच्चे हैं उसकी 2 सेक्शन नहीं बना सकते और तो आप पर जो मेरे thinkers है. Maybe the department has 6 electives for the 7th semester, but you can't run the 6 or 7 plus I don't have to run the 6 or so much. So not for there we have at least a time thing. So that maybe electives A, B, C are provided in one college, C, DE is another college, GH is another college, plus you choose the electives with their because the electives से ही आप एक student की establish आ सकता है उस major discipline. तो इस तरह की जो resource optimization है have to look forward to. And I would request all these faculty members to kindly support such a cooperation that is to run successfully. And maybe by next year we'll come to know what exactly is in play. ये हो सकता है अगर मान लो 4th year successful है, then in that case university में मास्टर करने की जगह ना तो the university has to think about, how to maintain the teaching in the university. So that's why we are all about something 5-year integrated from. ये also. Where college says for that 4th year, that university how to do this. To make it successful now. Since the transition period ends, anything I say, work group work out, I will check the classes common for this. I if we are going to transform anything, It is in our be the teachers. अगर हम नहीं करेंगे तो कोई नहीं करेगा और समय ऐसा है कि we cannot do great at that. ना? और जिस तरह से this as option the online से देखे you have one step ahead of है ना तो पहले लोग अभी पढ़ेगी तो फाइनल टाइम I tell you it's not going to be faced at all है ना बिल्कुल वेस्ट नहीं आप भी है तो जब आज के दिन में हम बिल्कुल भारत की बात करें ट्वेंटी पॉइंट ये पॉसिबल जैसे चल रहा है वैसे ही चलने दो दिस इज सम एटीट्यूड व्हिच इज देयर चल रहा है ना चलने दो ऐसे नहीं हो सकता है जैसे चल रहा है वैसा नहीं चलना चाहिए ठीक है और जैसे चलना चाहिए वैसे ही आपको मेहनत तो करनी पड़ेगी पर मेहनत का फल जरूर वी आर ऑल इंडियन चाहे हम किसी भी रिलीजन में या किसी रिलीजन में बिलोंग करते हैं तो फर्म बिलीफ यही है कर्म करोगे तो फल तो मिलेगा ही मिलेगा कितना टाइम में मिलेगा नहीं पता पर तय ये है कि मिलेगा ही so I keep standing here in front of you I am an example of it I am an example I come from the state of Manipur I did my schooling there graduation के टाइम में यहाँ तो I because मेरा तो Manipur board का था 11th and 12th and we had 2 years of teachers trying for hardly 11th 12th 6 से पढ़ा देंगे so we used to go for you know tuitions to teachers houses that used to then be allocated that department so obviously I never tried Delhi is something very universal something I'm supposed to really fast and I'm the only child of my parents so थोड़ा सा safety security ये सब सोचते हैं so I did my graduation year and after graduation I did my all my law degrees at a from at the and right after I started teaching and I got government about 7.5 months and I didn't easily after you know after becoming a regular teacher so if I'm here if I can, if I'm doing this kind of thing, it's all, I'm not known for anything but, as I just said, I just don't look anywhere, I just keep working. So I think, but I'm not saying that I'm successful. What I'm saying is, you can be playing a very, important role if you are working. क्योंकि हमारे honorable vice chancellor ने एक दिन बोला, you know what? The reward for good work is more work. So our child will shy away from that responsibility, but think that you are capable to do. That's why that work is being given to you. So kindly take with that spirit, and I'm sure as a person we can work first. We all can work with the changes is required. So it is see next इसमें भी अपना as more as starting academic projects करने को one has to start with problem identification, right? And problem identification is not an easy thing. Oh, let me share with you. There is a faculty I have heard of, faculty in my social sciences. Yes. So there are I think MBA program. We try to tell them that see your dissertation cannot go for 1 year. 1 year होता है, but you assess separately for your different semester. Third or fourth में अगर mark नहीं है, so either assess separately for third after credit. They told us that don't say okay, just thinking humans. But that is better. But fine. Research models, it will see semester which I have been insist all the video and you must have seen. I always say that option is there for the student, but kindly orient them, advise them, and pick up the research methodology. ताकि आपकी जो प्रॉब्लम आइडेंटिफिकेशन है जो करना है समर वेकेशन में सोच लेगा टाइम मिलेगा कर लेगा because प्रॉब्लम आइडेंटिफिकेशन cannot happen just by sitting and thinking. The student has to first read, do a preliminary literature review, then or should be able to know what is that thing where can contribute. क्योंकि research academic project अगर कोई टैलेंट है कोई additional perspective new कोई knowledge में कोई addition नहीं हो रही है which is not research. It is just replication of what is already there. So teachers have been very careful in knowing what is the latest development in that particular sector or domain of that. अगर आपको कुछ पता नहीं होगा तो कुछ already जो research किया हुआ उसकी copy करके आप guiding the student and mentoring is one, but identifying the right kind of research so that that's one full year to do research that particular topic. Teachers have to. So you have is the greatest research issue that is brought up. What is yet to be looked at, what is yet to be experimented, or what is yet to be, done in that particular area of research. This is research teachers have. These are those other. इसलिए इसमें कुछ नहीं किया है इसको करो so that's how the students are problem identification and then doing the literature review. These are common things as you can see between the academic project and dissertation right. Self-design formulation. This is a very important aspect of research. Problem to identify होगा. Once you have done the review of literature, student will be able to identify what is the gap. Research gap analysis after literature to be clear. Then only gap basis where you the student will be able to check his outputs. There has to be correlation between the research objective and the resistance. That's saying more than the objective because even which is really that really objective, right? And then obviously science है तो obvious it is but do with the formulating the height, isn't it? अगर social science का टीचर होता तो मैं बोल सकती कि हाइपोथेसिस की शायद जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगा अगर आप एक्सप्लोरेटिव रिसर्च आप डिस्क्रिप्टिव रिसर्च कर रहे हो हाइपोथेसिस की जरूरत नहीं है बिकॉज so science that is very important but science also is very relevant which means the qualitative and quantitative research है ना क्वालिटेटिव और क्वांटिटेटिव ऐसे अलग नहीं है qualitative research and quantitative research is a bond for my say एक सर्कल की तरह है, ठीक है? कैसे सर्कल की तरह है? अगर मान लो एक थियरी इसमें दिया है, ठीक है? मान लो जो केमिस्ट्री है या बायोलॉजिकल टीचर्स हैं, एक पर्टिकुलर chemical or may be able to make it impact in a particular reaction. Okay. Now, maybe in that family of elements, you want to say, okay, इसमें तो काम कर रहा है, थोड़े में भी यही, maybe you want to try. Then in that case, on doing a quantitative research, quantitative research, you want to see whether the theory works for that or find it to be quantitative. So that means when we are trying to fetch what it is, right, where it is working, fine, then in that case it will definitely get how much it will definitely quantitative. But when we are looking at why does it happen? Why? So particularly if you are looking at the why part, we have to look at quality. So if you look at quantitative and qualitative, particularly in science, I can say that if you already have a theory, try to put this to in certain other areas, then there is theory. If you are looking at whether okay, a cross section study कर रहे हो, इसमें काम कर रहा है, इसमें भी काम कर रहा है, fine, and you are looking at the reasons, fine, then that may be an exploration which is based on qualitative. Third, but once you come to the finding, then next question will be, can be generalized? Can it be generalized? Then in that case, from the qualitative you will come to the quantitative. So quantitative and qualitative results is that what we know, it's not separate. And it will depend on what question you are asking. So when you are formulating your research design, let me tell you that unless you formulate your research design, good idea. And certain India के finding is सारे terrible. So try to emphasize the students about formulating the right kind of research design. So that means you need to look at what is the relevance you are facing, and if you are selecting a particular ample area of study, what you are selecting a particular area, and from that particular area of study, you are going to set sampling. So what sampling technique you are using? Is it more scientific, right, or not? Right? So sampling technique you will have. If you are saying best to data, random sampling is the most strict, right? But many a times, some of people don't able to understand. They feel that random sampling, they will have a kind of low random. But ऐसे नहीं है. Because when we say random sampling, every sample in that particular universe of study should get equal chance of being selected. If there is no equal chance, then it's not a random sample. Isn't it? Second, randomized sample. कोई news reporter जाता है. Something has happened and the person goes in interview, and you see on the TV somebody is speaking. So can you say that this random sampling? No, it is not, because TV के कैमरा में किसी प्राप्त हर बंदा नहीं आता. हर बंदे की हर बंदे के पास के लिए so it's more like a convenience sampling rather than random sampling. Find what sample use. What is the tool used for data collection? Is it the most appropriate one? What are the tools available? What are the plus points of this? What are the points of that tool? So depending on that, because the aim is to minimize the cons and then focus on the pros of that, and keeping in mind what research tests you are trying to answer is the two most important which reported. है ना? उसके बाद डेटा एनालिसिस का जो तुम यूज कर रहे हैं, right? Whether that data analysis is appropriate or not, है ना? तो डेटा जो भी कलेक्ट करना है आपको फिल्टरिंग भी करनी पड़ेगी, आउटलायर्स भी निकालना पड़ेगा, कैसे निकालते हैं, हाउ मच मार्जिन ऑफ एरर इज यू पुट, व्हाट स्टैटिस्टिकल फॉर्मूला विल यू, ये सारे ठीक तरीके से रिसर्च डेटा कलेक्ट करना। So, let's test the bottom step is result design formulation. Start with the experiment. The science को experiment शुरू करें. Social science है तो obviously teamwork शुरू करें. कोई similar task देकर शुरू करें. So these are the expectations based on which we will be assessing half the credit. Now, credit is a 6 credit you are supposed to assess the end of credit. Okay. So students have been good at said beginning itself, right? है ना? 7 semester में ज्यादातर heavy students will be studying. Yes. Yeah.
And the third question is, as such, I cannot see any difference with yes and right now.
See, that's what I said when I start. It's the type of problem you are selecting. So it has to be a real-time problem for which you are trying to find a solution.
Okay, so there's a question regarding the scope of the same.
So minor. So that's why I said get it with areas. Right? It's not going to find a solution. Say for example, science was right now from Paul. That's it, but I can give you some. You can be major of what? It's usually affects. Now, you want to find a solution to how to treat this in the industry, system treatment itself, sewage treatment or waste treatment itself, so that when it comes out, it is safe for the ecosystem of the area. Say for example, then it becomes an academic project, very important, there is a documentation and a solution. You got it. In a case presentation, it can be something like, say, for example, what are the pollutants which are there in different parts of the world, right? And say, for example, Delhi depends mostly water Yamuna for drinking water. So where there are barrages, that and downstream of that you want to see, you just want to think what out the rather than solution. So that will be considered as part of the presentation.
I have 20 students in semester and we have 5 teachers. So each teacher will come with a course that they do.
See, we are better. No issue. Let her ask me. We are trying to formulate.
Depends on the quality of teacher. If the student is not, course, alright. We'll do 7 students with the same.
That's just be given. And that for supervising the research. Okay? So that will definitely depend upon number of students who are coming. Like honors come obviously everybody will do mostly research. Limited. Program students may have a choice. Okay, so let's see. But at least it can't go beyond 10 for sure. A teacher cannot go beyond 10, इतना तो मैं बोल सकती हूँ। मिनिमम का हो सकता है, देखते हैं, but the ideal can be somewhere 5 each. Range. We will give a range. We won't give you specific. But there will be a writer also depending upon the number of students who are there. Student teacher ratio. But let me clear this right away that you don't need to have a PhD degree to guide your students. If you are pursuing, right, because this is a college which undergraduate level of research. So that is why it's not that you really required. PhD degree is already being given there. Was it clear? Next. Yes.
ये फीचर्स आर पढ़ाई नहीं है या उनको एक्सपीरियंस मिले तो वो अच्छे से गाइड कर पाते हैं जिन्होंने ऑलरेडी पीएचडी कर रखा है, जिन्होंने रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी से पढ़ाया और पढ़ाया भी तो अच्छे से गाइड। क्योंकि इसमें प्रॉफिट का एंटी बार भी पीएच को सुपरवाइज करते हैं एक्सपेक्ट में एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन दैट इन्वेस्ट है स्टेटेड फ्रेंड को मतलब एक्स्ट्रा नहीं किया मतलब ये इन्वेस्ट के नॉट के अकॉर्डिंग ये गाइड नहीं कर सकता पीएच स्टूडेंट को तो उसको उस पर ले सकता है डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टर ये कैसे फिर कंसीडर कैसे हो जाएगी ना जैसी बात सर्वाइवर नहीं बन सकता है सुपरवाइज कर नहीं बनना चाहिए तो आरएम को सुपरवाइज करने के रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी पे एटलीस्ट बंदे को एक्सपीरियंस होना चाहिए आरएम का सो दैट ही और शी कैन सुपरवाइज द स्टूडेंट
अगर ये मुझे इससे नहीं तो उसको भी आइडिया हो जाए बच्चे और प्राइमरी सिस्टम के पाए ये या बैक के कोर्स की बेसिस अपॉइंटमेंट नहीं हुई है और इन कोर्सेज को पढ़ाने के लिए कोई अपॉइंटमेंट या पोस्ट क्रिएट नहीं सो वी हैव टू make a capacity of teachers to reach all group subjects and give direct basis. ठीक है the maths so जैसे तीन सेमेस्टर एक से डिजिटल पैकेज चूज किया है चार आउटकम दो में जब उनको शुरू किया नंबर 2 रिक्वायरमेंट ये है मैंडेटरी रिक्वायरमेंट रेजर्वेशन है तो वो ना रेजर्वेशन कवरेज करेगा ये दो तो चाहिए चीज तीसरा जो है तीसरा इट कैन रिसर्च आउटपुट इन एनी ऑफ जो चार बॉक्सेस आपने ग्रीस में देखा है उस चार बॉक्सेस में से कोई भी चीज कोई भी आउटकम अचीव कर सकता है then it will be considered to have now completely आपको मैं एक्सपेक्ट ठीक है but out of चार बॉक्स एक करता है एक करना जो है वो मैंडेटरी है कोई भी एक कर सकता कोई भी एक so in a way there are three outcomes which are mandatory who is very clear third पे ये ऑप्शन है उन ऑप्शन में से एक करना ही करना है ठीक है अभी इसलिए ये एक रखा है any other scholarship work as recommended by the Department of Research Committee and Board of Research Studies at University. ये भी आपका जो डिपार्टमेंट बनाएगा बना रहे हैं they are linked with से आपको ठीक है If a student is writing the relation, तो स्टूडेंट आपसे पूछेंगे मेरे से आके पूछेंगे इसे क्लैरिटी आपको होना जरूरी है एजुकेशन अगर स्टूडेंट लिख रहे हैं it will be individual work unique academic tricks दो से तीन ये तक इंडिविजुअल भी कर सकता है या दो भी कर सकता है मैक्सिमम तीन तक कर सकता है एक बच्चा मिलके करेगा मगर हर एक बच्चे का स्पेसिफिक रहेगा यूनिक रहेगा कि कौन क्या कर रहा है उस बंदे का हिस्सा उस हिसाब से असेसमेंट की जाएगी
Your work will be different, no? You can't have the same work, same person doing the same work. Or very well.
One is to second formulation temperature, the other way pressure. Next, another one has to equal. Actually, okay, same. Push पूरे सबमिट कर प्रोजेक्ट तो हम क्या करना है किस किसका है उसके बेसिस पे अलग अलग सेक्शन बोल
And since the title of the thesis will be separate for different papers. Yeah, can't be saying.
Part of the same research question. Say, for it's like पर आउटकम स्ट्रक्चरल शेप में से एक करना है इसमें क्या ऐड हुआ है वन ये साइंस के लिए नहीं है जो लैंग्वेज डिपार्टमेंट लेकिन ट्रांसलेटर को जैसे किसी नेचर लैंग्वेज से आप इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेट कर सो दैट भी कंसीडर द एकेडमिक प्रोजेक्ट सिमिलरली इसने पॉलिसी डेवलप किया है देयर इज अगेन नॉट योर डोमेन मे बी ना साइंस में unless you are doing some interdisciplinary research where आप interdisciplinary research करते हो एग्जाम्पल करते हो then interdisciplinary research करते हैं तो ये सब रहेगा yes
dissertation there is a outcome of prototype or product and here also we have but this would be the outcome of entrepreneurship also
yes
and
in the all the three cases, there will be a report submission also. I have to submit a copy or a notebook to prove it as a dissertation academic project. And similarly, at the end of the entrepreneurship also, we need to have some record to see.
Entrepreneurship का one है outcome. और
These three outcomes are overlapping. Question will
see, कोई भी हो सकता है ना.
Ma'am, second question is that are we getting really 12 months or apparently 10 months only, because if we start with the third year in July, we will be ending it by the end of May. So are we getting 12 months or 10 months? The timeline. The students.
As per our, you will be assessing the presentation. That's the way
by the time you do our practical and theory assessments, that means it will be 10 months only.
another 9 months.
Yeah, 9 months, because in between we will be having exam and
only will be working. Those vacation है उसमें भी तो काम करेगा ना.
मैम उसमें तो बच्चों के एग्जाम ही हो रहा है, हम इमीडिएट सर कॉलेज का ओपन आपका सर. Yes. But we have 4.5 months each semester.
So 9 to 10 months part.
Secondly,
but as we have already worked out, first year में identify करो customer जो आपके पास है उसको train करो कि if you are going to do project start कीजिए with problem whenever they are free. तो about 3 years के end में आपको बच्चा ready होना चाहिए कि where she wants to go, which mentor and क्या उसने identify किया, उसके बाद काम उसको करना है. Right? No feel burden on yourself कि तुम्हें काम करना देना. The table is reversed. The student has, and you are, what we are doing here is to prepare, guide us. आप अपने आप को prepare करो कि आपको बच्चे को guide करना है, rightly pointed out. Unless you have studied enough, you will not be able to guide us. और ये भी होता है कभी-कभी student इतना bright है कि वो आपसे बहुत आगे चलेगा. Fine, that your role is to support and see that she has done a good work. Then you have to take her. अगर see, the last year, sir, for example, the policy, DRS में आने वाली बात है. Suppose a student has given a publication, written a paper, it's not published. You and the quality of paper is good. That will be decided by the result comes in, and they give you the degree. तो ये सारी चीजें अभी आपको कंप्लीट करनी है और आप जैसे करोगे वो फिल्टर आउट होगी, छूट जाएगा ये. Then they will decide क्या कैसे काम हो. Then किसी भी चीज को ना करना तो बहुत आसान, किसी चीज को करवाना बहुत मुश्किल. So your role is now not to see to it कि lesson is complete and you're going to give the award. ये नहीं है, आपका काम mentoring करना है. You have to guide the person कहाँ वो stuck हुआ है उसके लिए आइडिया बताना है, आपको सजेस्ट करना है these are the labs. ये है आपका, ठीक है. तो ये मत कहो जुलाई से शुरू होगा, अगस्त से शुरू होगा. एक्चुअली फर्स्ट ईयर है ना, लोग होगा द नेक्स्ट सेक्टर्स इंटर 4 ईयर कोर्स. आप आइडेंटिफाई करना शुरू कर दो कि फिर कौन से बच्चे आपके कोर्स में जो कि बाहर है.
And one last question. Book translation, why is it explicitly for language department? Because the Institute of Mass Communication also encourages that especially science teachers should translate the science content which is less available in Hindi rather than other humanities department. So why it is not for science? It would have been more contributory if science people do it, because and
maybe one time we go in the internship have roll out किया है. Project अभी तक not roll out नहीं किया है. Maybe that project we can think about such. Not in this. Not in this. जी.
ऐसे ऐसे बात ऐसे ट्रांजैक्शन को लिखना चाहिए क्योंकि इनकी माध्यम से पढ़ते रहे और बाद में अंग्रेजी भाषा से पढ़े, अच्छे से बेहतर तरीके से अनुवाद कर सकते हैं विज्ञान.
वो जो है एकेडमिक प्रोजेक्ट करेंगे रिसर्च डिग्री नहीं है ऐसे रिसर्च पूरी केमिस्ट्री का बच्चा सिर्फ थियरी ट्रांसलेट करके और रिसर्च केमिस्ट्री लैंग्वेज you can think about things such as other IAPC का जो पी है किया मतलब नहीं किया है पर जब करेंगे इस तरह की चीज कर सकते हैं उससे हर किया
Next.
का हुआ है 1.5 पेज का आउटकम है और डिटेल दिया हुआ है हर वीक के हिसाब से ठीक है तो वहां पे बिजनेस इंटरलाइव बात करते हैं बड़े से इसमें हो सकता है कि लाइक ऑफ
Science based prototype or science based
एक सागर वाले जैसा पार्ट है ना इसका मतलब डिस्कस करना ठीक है बाद मार्केट की तकरीबन एक और launching at the end या अगर आप देखेंगे बीच प्रिपरेशन वगैरह सब करते हैं ठीक है फाइनल लॉन्च होगा एंड entrepreneurship is that happen to control the states for ठीक है dissertation या academic project के लिए you can have a co-control who's teach in a university or college education institution ठीक है so we are thinking that the college should also have their own research advisory cell उसके बाद डिपार्टमेंट के लिए भी होना चाहिए ठीक है एक कॉलेज के सेंट्रल लेवल में एक डिपार्टमेंट के टीआईसी मिलके एक लेवल पे बना सकते हैं जो सारी तो रिसर्च है जो हर इश्यू को कर सकते हैं और इवन आपको सुपरवाइजर इन सब काम आप अपनी लेवल में कर सकते हैं सो there is a draft for a person usually even know handle is
Thank you.
evaluation में जब करेंगे लिटरेचर रिव्यू करेंगे क्या रिव्यू लिटरेचर किया है क्या रेलेवेंट देखा गया और रिसर्च गैप एनालिसिस के थ्रू किया है नहीं अगर रिसर्च गैप एनालिसिस के लिए सही लग रहा है ग्रे रहने से लिए नीचे मेरी क्लास मेरा साथ बात है सच का अच्छा है तो नीचे पे यूनिवर्सिटी कुछ नहीं है नीचे बैठ मैडम पहले डाला दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी का मैंने सर्च किया I
this is what movie जो आप बात करें ये स्कॉलर सेट करेंगे किसी भी there is a difference. You are mixing up the नहीं ऐसे नहीं आप सवाल पूछो सोच के पूछो आप चीजें बोलते करा दें बात करिए जो उसके लिए क्वालिफिकेशन आपका कौन है पीएचडी के लिए तेरा गाइडलाइंस बदलेगी
इतने टीचर जो यहाँ बैठे हैं या यहाँ नहीं मैं बहुत ही है अच्छे जर्नलिस्ट बहुत बधाई और जिसने अभी तक नहीं किया है मैं एनकरेज कर आप सबको कर करिए एफर्ट मारे जरूर
see program courses that is not we are not getting that search we are getting only the honors degree that is quality of what or they will be the next exam or same for the honors.
See, I don't think UGC makes a distinction.
But I'm taking the research, but they are not taking the research only honors degree. So research.
मैं बताती हूँ क्या रीजन है अगर आप देखेंगे ना सिंगल कोर डिसिप्लिन प्रोग्राम में कन्वेंशनली हम बोलते थे ऑनर्स चाहे वो पीएचडी हो ये हो बीकॉम students by the end of 4 years are getting minimum of 108 credits in that discipline. ठीक है number one minimum maximum they are able to get 132 credits in that discipline whereas a person who does BSc life science or BSc physical science with 3-4 they are able to get a maximum of 80 credits in case if one of the other 4 disciplines is made a minor. अगर minor भी नहीं बनाया है तो a student who pursues BSc program will get at the most 84 credits in that major discipline. So how can you compare a person with 84 or 84 credits and 108 to 132 credits? There is no comparison whatsoever. In fact, the very reason why the university has given honors degree in 3 years is for a student is able to get these 80 credits in 3 years in case of honors programs. That was the very reason why we wrote the UGC that despite your structure, we will be giving honors degree in 2 years for these students. वही कारण है they have to learn. And in fact, if you see 2020 से 21 के आसपास जितनी भी regulations के आपने को guidelines निकाले हैं, you can see the first guideline of multiple including things. Mostly they have written credits to be required is 40, 80, 120, 160. That was fixed, right? But our UGC 2022 was up. It was 10th of February 2022. उसके बाद 80 क्रेडिट्स अर्न कर रहे हैं जो आप 4 साल में पहुंच सकते हैं ठीक है तो इसके ऑप्शन से क्या था अगर आप UGC 2022 वेबसाइट में देखिएगा तो इससे आप और सिलवाई के अंदर यूज कर देगा सब आपको टेबल नंबर 2 लिखा है लास्ट वाला जो रो है मल्टी proper very so some people have tried by the graph which was not with that it's very result दे रहा था आप तब ऐसे with the order of result दे रही देखिए पढ़ने का जो है ना can you just quickly go and see पीछे 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 तो नाम वर्ड एंड इस सेकंड बार इसके इसको क्वेश्चन It's like the 14 times so yeah, no, science is the best part. If you think full of it, so because now let's that that's enough diagnosis. But let's say you say absolutely.
So they have followed. There was some confusion in how the project would be open for the science. So
we are coming to this. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I would request you to please agree to take us out for a back.
यहाँ गलती का
Starting.